Hey everybody, it's the Mad Master here. I'm just doing a quick video before I make the trek outdoors. And it's pretty cold out, but it's the sun's out and stuff, so it's not going to be too bad. So I was just thinking the other day that there's certain people that cannot be canceled, and I think there's various reasons for that. Um, and even though two of these people are deceased, I thought I mentioned some of these people. Lemmy from Motorhead. I mean, he used to wear full-blown Nazi regalia. He's sexist because he partook in groupie culture and didn't give a fuck. He has a song called Jailbait. And I just can't wait. Fuck, that's the lyric. That's pretty problematic, So that's, but still he's like, nobody's like saying like, oh, Lemmy was such a problematic piece of shit. Or as far as I'm sure BuzzFeed might have run an article or two about that, or maybe Vice, like, Lemmy should not be worshipped. I'm sure they did. However, at this point, I really don't see like a backlash against Lemmy worship. Like even David Bowie had a little bit of backlash when he died. Like, we shouldn't be worshiping David Bowie because he had sex with minors. I'm gonna break the news to you, and I'm not endorsing this one way or the other necessarily. Who didn't in the rock scene have sex with a minor in the '70s, in the fucking '70s? The fucking '70s for a reason. Called that the fucking '70s. Who didn't? I'm just saying now it's like, it's Ron and all that, blah, blah, blah. But back then, David Bowie, Jimmy Page, fucking everybody. So, but somehow Lemmy escaped all this ire of the social justice warriors and the media and stuff. And I don't know the reasoning behind that, but I think there's some psychology to it. And I think one thing is that he's just honest and outspoken. He's outspoken somewhat, but it's like he teeters towards being more like not being too outspoken, like Ted Nugent or something, but not being like totally like hide all the stuff that he did or said. He's just like, yeah, this is me. Take it or leave it. It was more like that. It's not like Gene Simmons or fucking Ted Nugent just blabbing away about stuff. So I think there's some psychology there with that. This like this weird thin line edge that he teetered on. So another person that cannot be canceled, quote unquote, is honestly Gigi Allin. Because Gigi Allin he was, if you want to cancel him, it's like there's so much about him that you can't really cancel someone that's already throwing shit at people and trying to rape women with a 1-inch penis on stage. It's like impossible. It's like, what are you supposed to do? Just like, he's so problematic. It's like he's already canceled. Like he's so over the top. It's like it's like this paradox. Like it's like, well, he's already like beyond fucked up. It's like, why cancel someone that appeals to a niche of people that I don't know. It's just like canceling Gigi Allin is just like, it would have been weird if he would have lived, but I'm just saying, like, it's impossible. It's just like he's already so transgressive that he's already like the best thing you could do is not talk about him. That's most people do, but it's just like it's hard to explain the psychology behind that. But like, I don't think if he would have presented some kind of like front that he was some kind of good person, and then they found out about him doing this or that to a woman, then maybe that's different. But he served jail time for burning a woman with a cigarette lighter for hours and stuff. Fuck, you can't cancel it. He's already too fucked up to like. He was beyond redemption. He came out and he died of a heroin overdose. It's like canceling Gigi Allin is like, I don't know. Is like I don't know. It's hard to. It's really hard to cancel someone that's already so over the top. Another example though, and I'm trying to think about this, like the dynamics of cancellation, but I just thought I'd throw Gigi Allin in there because I don't, nobody can really cancel Gigi Allin. He's dead, but if he were alive, would they cancel him? They can't. He's too beyond the pale. Another person that really can't be canceled, even though he's been banned from YouTube and stuff, is Varg Vikernes, who is still alive. So I noticed that like Burzum stuff still everywhere. I mean, you can buy Amazon shirts of Burzum. You can buy his role playing game on Amazon. You can, he's all over the place on eBay, Amazon. Essentially he's a white nationalist. As far as a lot of his videos, what he says, he's anti-Semitic and racist and all that, and arguably sexist too, because he like might believe in some kind of like traditionalism with the family and all that. Sexist. Use quotation marks. So it's like one of those things that, I mean, they're not gonna. It's like we already know he burned a church and he killed a member of his band. It's like, what are you gonna do? Like, but it's like it's already. I mean, I think some of these people just are so over the top. They can only like it's like they hit the bottom so much that they can only be seen. It's like you do so much bad stuff that's like the little good things you do get recognized more or something. Like maybe this is a reverse psychology thing going on here with that kind of stuff. It's like, oh well, his music is so beautiful though. Separate from the art from the artist, and I do think Varg Vikernes is musically very talented. I didn't used to like Burzum. I think it was mainly the vocals. I wasn't really used to like that kind of high pitched black metal vocal. Bethlehem had a similar problem with me because I had a similar problem with the band Bethlehem because they like had it's like this thing. But I got into him in recent years, and a lot of his music, like the ambient stuff, is fucking awesome. Like some of the stuff, I go to sleep to it. It gives me these weird dreams and stuff. So I'm not talking about like the Jailhouse albums he did necessarily. I'm talking about like the ambient songs he had on his records from the early career. So he was very talented. I think, and his music is pretty free of ideology for the most part, other than like Viking kind of back to nature, heathen kind of shit, which he was doing pretty early. Even went during the black metal wave in Norway. So, I mean, it wasn't really satanic, as far as that. So, I mean, there's a few songs that might lean towards that, but he was really more into that. And it's good stuff. I mean, it's really good music. So, I mean, when people talk about black metal, they don't really cancel. They see it as this really, it's like Vice does specials on it or whatever. And these people that would normally be canceling someone else will be like praising the music was so good and it's so revolutionary. It's so weird what happened. It's like this weird alien curiosity because it happened in Norway and stuff a long time ago. So they can't cancel black metal, I guess. They might want to. I'm sure some people want to. I mean, I know there's like Antifa black metal bands that are like trying to like defeat like bands that had any association with any neo-Nazis or anything like that. But it's like, just they can't. I don't know. It's impossible. Like Antifa has tried to cancel some black metal musicians and stuff in the past. But the thing about black metal is it was always transgressive art. It was always transgressive. It was always controversial. It's like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon kind of thing. It's like you're gonna know a Nazi somewhere. There's gonna be a neo-Nazi somewhere in there, and somewhere in that stew. So it's like you're not gonna get away with it. Samoth of Emperor wore a fucking swastika, or he was like did something in front of a Nazi flag once. Same with the Sex Pistols though. He used to just pushing boundaries. It's like I'm sure some of these musicians might even be part Jewish or something. For fuck's sake. And definitely not Vikernes, or maybe that's the hidden secret. And as someone who is of that ancestry partially, it's like I don't know. I would say like during the 90s it was more cool, like I did about my 6 Hexenhammer video. It was more he was kind of coming from that tradition where it was cool, the occult, like transgressive underground of music, culture, the satanic culture, so to speak, the occult, to have some far right ideations or affiliations. Now it's a little bit different, but a lot of people. Actually, there was a recent. I don't know if it was Gordon White or what was that guy's name? One of the guys that's on Gordon White's podcast did some stuff about. It was with what's this guy? It was he was on the episode. Mitch Horowitz. I forgot the Connor Halib. I think that's his name. He's actually a gay porn star who has like this occult and like I think he's like an occult Christian or something. I haven't read enough about him, but it's very interesting stuff. Connor, I think his name is. He's been on Gordon White's podcast and stuff. He did, you know, they were debating. They weren't debating. They were talking about how, you know, they don't think that the occult is far right, even though there's like an association now with that. So, but you know, there is like a lot of associations that have happened over the years with all that. But you know, I don't think the occult is right or left. But that said, they did talk about this with regards to the occult. People that are into some of that stuff, people that are on the left, are more into the materialist explanation of the world. A lot of the time, you know, Marxism was notorious. Marxism is notoriously atheist. You know, it's all about the materialist model of things. It had Hegelian dialectic and all this stuff. It's like, of course, they're going to veer away from that kind of thing. And you know, a lot of the occult got back in fashion during the Romantic period of, you know, art, literature, and music. And what else got popular in the Romantic period was anti-Semitism. So, you know, it kind of coalesced into what became, you know, what happened in the 20th century. So, you know, Hitler is notoriously loves Wagner and Nietzsche, but even, you know, Nietzsche, you know, however you want to pronounce it. I'm going to pronounce it both to win both camps over. But Nietzsche was not an anti-Semite. He said he was not, you know, he was not overall. Sometimes he might say this or that, you know. It's like anybody from that period, you know. I know a lot of the right wingers like to like bring up how Abraham Lincoln said racist stuff, but then, you know, the left winger will say, well, what about this? You know, it's like they vary in their life, you know, they say. So I know Nietzsche's sister was the one who kind of associated him with the Nazi Party, but that was that period of time, you know, the Romantic period, where a lot of these associations took place, because the Enlightenment was more liberal in, you know, in the old school's definition, but it kind of the line of time went into what the modern period is as far as everything goes. So, wow, I forgot what this video was even about. Oh yeah, it's like 3 transgressive musicians who can never be canceled. Well, I don't think Lemmy is transgressive, but Lemmy never was canceled. My ex-girlfriend saw Motorhead and loved Lemmy. And as much as it may embarrass her, I know she doesn't watch my videos. So she actually laughed at Andrew Dice Clay. I play the Jerky Boys, and she didn't really get it. But, you know, it's like ultra feminist, blah, 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 blah. You know, I seem to like attract that type for some odd reason. It was like the third time around or second time around, you know, where dating someone like that, it just seems like that's kind of, you know, that's kind of what I draw upon. But my problematic books and my problematic music and my problematic movies and my problematic attitudes, because I'm an entitled white male. You're a fucking white male. You know, I'm sure it'll get me in trouble in debates. And actually, I did mention that in my Woody Allen, Marilyn Manson video, where I did get a debate with my ex-girlfriend about Woody Allen and stuff. I mean, I don't fucking know. I wasn't there, okay? Motherfucker, you know? I don't know if what happened. I mean, I'm not going to believe everything they say, but I'm not going to say they're liars either. You know, so I teeter on the brink. I'm in the middle. I'm on the edge, whatever. It's like people might say that it's wrong to like be in this middle ground about everything. It's like, that's just my fucking life, bitch. Get over it. That's all.